Angelica from TEDx Tinhow Women Conference last month because I felt like, one, her, no pun intended, story was worth sharing. And also because how often do you get to meet someone who is an astrobiologist, an astrophysicist, and a planetary scientist? And I'm not sure I even know what all that means. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Angelica Endless to talk to us about her own personal roots and how it's driven her to her career path. Thank you. So please welcome Angelica.
Well, I will start by saying that this is not the type of presentation I would do, but when Diana asked me to do this, I was very excited. And it made me think a lot about my roots and how I accomplished what I accomplished today. So I hope you will like it. I'm not going to talk about formulas or things like that. So I just want to tell you a little bit of the steps I've been taking in the past decade up until today. So when I was 4 years old, my grandfather used to always tell me stories about the universe. He was always telling me about other planets and maybe there were green aliens living on them with one eye. So he died when I was still very young, but I was always thinking about that. I wanted to prove that what he was saying was true. So since I was a child, I was always very interested about space and about planets, and I was not really paying attention to what was going on Earth. So yeah, since then I've been always interested in this, and I had no idea how I was going to do it. I'm from Spain, and there was no university degree that was specifically to study life in the universe or anything like that. So my grandfather told me to be fearless. Just go for it. And little did I know at that time that fearless comes with security, with a foundation or roots that makes you feel secure and allow you to go through every step of the way. And it hasn't been easy. I've been through a lot of steps in the way where I've been told that, I'm a woman, I couldn't speak any English at that time, why do you want to do this, there is no money for this, or it is impossible. So anyway, I want to tell you about the different steps I took up until. So I decided I was going to study rocket engineering in Sweden, because it was a very good place to study this. And I couldn't speak any English, so my family could not believe that I was going to go there and study in English. So they all came with me thinking I would, as soon as I was arriving to Sweden, I would go back with them to Spain. But actually I stayed, I said bye to my father, I said no, I'm staying. And I forced myself to learn English, and I finished my degree there. And it was amazing. I did everything there. The only problem in Sweden, it was so cold, and there was so much snow that sometimes I couldn't even open the door of my house. So anyway, after this, I went to Germany to study a master in space geodesy, which is studying the shape of the Earth, studying space, the shape of the Earth. Anyway, we were just a few people in the master. I was very happy. This master was in English, and I was pretty confident that I could speak in English. But this year, they decided to do this master in German. No, and I didn't know. Sorry. This is not working. Yeah. Well. Anyway, they decided to do this master in German, so we had to go to Germany, and it was. After that, I went to do a second master in space engineering in the UK, and here I was pretty much focused on on studying different landscapes of different planets and so on. So as part of this master, we had to go to the crater of an asteroid to literally hammer walls and find for fossils. So this huge asteroid landed there. This is in the Black Forest in Germany. And a lot of organisms became fossilized. So this was the first time when I was actually working with past life with organisms. So after this, I was really excited about really doing more about past life and so on. So I decided to do a third master in planetary science, also in London. So many people ask me, why 3 masters? This is crazy, but in this master, it was the first year that they were creating this master. It was specifically for life in the universe and extraterrestrial life in general. So because it was the first year, there were only 2 people in the master. So it was really hard. We skipped the class because it was really obvious that we were not there. As part of this master, not as part of this master, this summer when I was studying this master, I won a scholarship to do a summer school at NASA. And this is the place where we were living. It was really nice, and that was my room. So here was my first contact with NASA. I was for this summer with them. We were studying extraterrestrial life and different planets where we could find it. So after this, I was definitely into that, and I thought that my dreams could come true. And so when I went back to London, my research project was about the search of life, the search of life. So what I was doing is I was using Antarctica as an analog to find life in the North Pole of Mars. So this kind of environment is what we see in Antarctica. So there is dust on the surface, and because of the sun, it melts, so it creates a microenvironment. So here we can have life because we have liquid water. It is protected from the outside environment, and we have solar radiation, sunlight. So this was perfect. We were pretty sure that we would find the same microenvironments in the North Pole of Mars where there is ice and there is a lot of dust. Well, how we were doing this is to study different parts of the surface. We were studying the amount of radiation that was coming from the surface, and then I was taking the spectrum, and if there was anything organic, anything alive, I should be able to see a peak that would indicate organic compounds were there. Well, we didn't find anything conclusive, but we did find some peaks like this that indicated that something was there, something in the North Pole of Mars. Well, we didn't know where this was coming from. Was this life that was staying there, or was this life that was transported there? How long had we been there? We didn't know anything about this, so I really wanted to continue with this same project. So at this point, I didn't want to do any more masters. So I decided to do a PhD. That was a bit more, a few more years. So I was rejected from 10, 15 universities where I was told I could not do this type of research, and it's very expensive. We couldn't go to these places in Antarctica and so on. So finally, I found someone that became my supervisor here in Hong Kong. So I came to Hong Kong to start my master. Well, this was a big thing for me. I was in Spain, in Europe in general. So I called him and I asked him, are there any foreigners at the university? He was like, absolutely, yes, don't worry about it. Oh, sorry, I finished my degree. Yes. Yeah. So foreigners, this girl is from Taiwan. So that was the other foreigner that was there, so it's very hard for me. At the beginning, but I've been here now 6 years. So I obviously stayed, and I finished my PhD last year. And so we did not find life on Mars yet, but I believe we're very close. So what I want to share with you now is how we've been doing So, as you know, well, I'm not sure you know, but Mars is about half size of the Earth. And I have so many people ask me, why Mars? Why is Mars exploration important in our daily lives? Why does this matter at all? And I always tell them, discovery of liquid water or even the discovery of life on Mars will be very interesting, we will be very excited. But I think the most important thing for planetary exploration is that it's a crucial step towards understanding ourselves. To understand whether we are the only ones alive in the universe. Is our planet the only living world with intelligent beings in the solar system? I think planetary exploration always encourages us this thoughtful look at ourselves and the management of our planet as nothing else. And that is what is really important. Mars just happens to be the closest planet and the easiest planet to explore. So early Mars was very similar to Earth today. It had plenty of water, rivers, lakes, even an ocean that covered most of the northern hemisphere. And why is water important? Because it's one of the main ingredients for life. So every time we're looking for life, we're looking for water in any state. Here on Earth, anywhere, and I mean anywhere, we find water, we find life. In any form and in any state, we find life. But today Mars is very different. It's inhospitable, it's very cold, it's very dry, there is no liquid water, only on board. But what happened to this water? Did it evaporate? Where does all this water go? So one way that we have to study this is to study places on Earth that were formed in similar conditions as Mars, is what we call terrestrial analogs. So places on Earth that were created in almost identical conditions, or were formed in almost similar properties that will tell us something about what happened on Mars. For example, the Pilbara in Australia, where I went to study the origin of life on Earth. This is the oldest evidence of life on Earth, 3.6 billion years old. Or the hot springs in Rotorua, where I went to study the life on Mars arising in hot springs. Or Lake Sisoul in Spain, where we went to study organisms that don't use oxygen for photosynthesis, where we could take this environment and compare it to what happened on Mars, on early Mars. I'm currently studying what I believe to be one of the most extreme environments on Earth. This is the Chaitan Basin in Tibet. And in my opinion, this is one of the most similar environments on Earth to Mars. So this place was a giant lake, but because of the Himalayas pushing, it raised the surface very high, all the water disappeared, and now it's very cold and very cold. This is the highest desert on Earth, and it is very big, it's about 800 kilometers across. So an amazing environment, an amazing natural laboratory to study Martian processes. This is a video that we took with a drone. I don't know if that's working very well. But as you can see, it really looks like you are amazed. Well, these expeditions are not easy. This place is very high, so I always feel very sick because of the altitude. And I'm always the only woman going there. The closest city is 2 days drive away. So we have to drive to small town, and fly to a small town and then drive 2 days and we go back to this place. So I go there with my team, we collected samples, and we found organisms that survive with almost no water, practically no water, or other organisms that survive with really high radiation levels. And all of these give us clues about the survival strategies of these organisms and the type of organisms that we could find on Mars today. I don't know if someone has already met, but they have this cute animal, this Jack. And I mark here Jack Butter because when we're there, the only thing they eat is Jack Butter, fried Jack meat, boiled Jack meat, Jack milk, Jack. So after a couple of weeks of just eating that, it becomes good too much. Anyway. So we found dozens of similarities with Mars. So I could talk about these for hours, but Diana only gave me 20 minutes. So I'm gonna show you only 3 of the similarities. So these are polygons. So here on your left, you see the tidal basin, and here you see Mars. So this is the similarity. So these polygon or polygonal soils are formed in periods of intense evaporation and dryness. Never raining, there is no water, so the soils are very, very dry. We also find these fluvial valleys along the front. So this indicates that a lot of water melted in the past. So we know that a lot of water was there in the past. It melted and it formed these huge valleys. So look at these two pictures, they almost look the same. Even this rock on the right is in the same place. And then gardens, which are these little hills, little teardrop-shaped hills. This is important because gardens are abundant on Mars. There are a lot of them, they are active features. The tidal basin has the highest and the largest garden fields on Earth. And again, look at these two pictures. This one is taken by the Curiosity rover, now on Mars, and I took this one from the Earth. So, thanks to this research, I published a lot of things about all of this. So, thanks to this research, I took part in what has been the proudest moment in my career. I was part of the landing site selection team for the next NASA mission that is going to Mars this year. This mission is called Mars 2020 officially, and its goal is to search for life on Mars, to search for any habitable environments, whether it was past life or present life. So when I was searching for a landing site, a place to land on Mars, I had to find a place that would tell us something about the potential of life. So to do this, I used tidal basin in Tibet, and I used that analog to help me choose. So the place I chose is called Holden Crater. It's more or less near the equator of Mars. And what I had to do was to create a path for the rover to stop and take samples. So this is going to be the first mission that is going to go there. It's going to actually take samples and bring them back to Earth. And this is the first time ever that this is going to happen. So the path or the traverse of the rover is very important. It's about 20 kilometers long because the rovers travel very slow and they stop all the time, they analyze things, and they keep moving at a very slow pace. So this is the landing site. It's about 20 kilometers diameter. And you may think, oh, the rover lands somewhere inside here. It's pretty, we don't know exactly where. But in the European Space Agency, the landing site is 100 kilometers long. So 20 kilometers long is actually pretty accurate. So anyway, the rover lands somewhere inside here, and then this is what I created, the seven stops, all of them to search for evidence of life on the planet. Well, Holden Crater was amongst the top 10 landing sites considered by NASA. And it was not the final landing site selected, but even though it was not the final site, I took part in something really amazing for the future of the exploration of Mars. So after my participation in the landing site, I took part in a lot of different projects. I had a lot of small jobs with NASA. I took part in a lot of small projects all related to the Mars exploration program. This is a case. Anyway, so right now I finished my PhD like last year, and my goal is to work full time for NASA, and we're in the process of that. It's more or less we're kind of deciding when is it. But anyway, when I think about today about all these things that I have accomplished, I always go back to this little book that my grandfather gave me when I was a child. It says, "Are there inhabitants on Mars?" It's very tiny, it's from the 60s. And yeah, it was young. So I always go back to this and think about how, he planted this idea in my head, and I've been able to do all these different steps. And I still read this book. It's very thin, but I still read it because it makes me be very grateful about my roots and that strong foundation or that home base that allowed me to do all these different steps. This is my grandfather. I was very young there, so I don't know Mars, but but yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much.